Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 41 is now officially in the history books, as right now we're going to further analyze, dissect, and break down the recent events of the near conclusion of the Tournament of Power in order to gain a better understanding as to the recent events involving Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren in the climatic battle of the Tournament of Power, in which showcases many interesting events that many people within the Dragon Ball fandom have either agreed or disagreed with, in which the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power manga will be officially ending in November. So again, if you guys are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all latest in Dragon Ball news and information, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and enable all notifications to always be kept in the loop whenever brand new information is posted, as right now we're going to further kick things off with the introduction of Ultra Instinct Omen Goku versus Jiren in the manga. Now, the opening battle of UI Goku versus Jiren in this manga was in fact very interesting because it showed the exact same display in which we saw in the anime, which was basically Jiren trying to adapt to UI Goku's movements and trying to land a couple of hits on him, in which we get to see how Goku's adaptation to Jiren has grown tremendously ever since tapping back into Ultra Instinct. And I will say the overall fight was brief, but what I really did enjoy was the interaction between the spectators, Jiren and Goku, because even now, Whis went on to state he's getting deeper and deeper into Ultra Instinct. He keeps incoming attacks from hitting his vitals, thereby avoiding real damage. And that's when Jiren goes on to state, planning on dodging my attacks all day, are you? Your odds of victory are minimum if all you do is run away. With Goku responding and stating, getting chatty, Jiren? That's not like you. And that's when Jiren proceeds to go on the attack. While missing Goku, he goes on to state, you're looking awfully relaxed. As Goku responds by stating, oh yeah? It's not like this is easy or anything, right? And Jiren, as he proceeds to attack Goku, he can't seem to land any sort of attack on him, which Goku later goes on to state, all I've done is get rid of unnecessary emotions. And that's when Jiren replies by stating, unnecessary? With Goku having to reply by stating, yep, right now my heart is calm as the gentle streams of Malpazu, which implies that the Ultra Instinct form is a very calm form which requires Goku to remove all necessary emotions in order for him to focus. And because of the whole focus aspect, we see how Jiren begins to get very frustrated in trying to attack Goku. Now here is where I strongly disagree with the overall execution of Ultra Instinct Omen into the mastery of the Ultra Instinct state. Now Goku simply closes his eyes, and simply right upon opening his eyes once again as Jiren attacks him, he all of a sudden just taps into the mastery of the UI form and proceeds to attack Jiren by punching him in the gut. Now in the anime, what was really cool about this display was seeing Ultra Instinct Omen backed into a corner to the point where Goku had no other choice but to go through Jiren. In the anime. In the manga, the way he obtained the mastery of Ultra Instinct was very mediocre to me, because all he basically did was close his eyes, and upon opening his eyes once more, his hair went from black to silver. And it was very mediocre in seeing the way it was handled, but the fight scenes were incredible, because then we see over at the spectator seats how everyone begins to talk about what Goku had done, including Beerus, and stating, Whis, that's it, isn't it? As Whis goes on to state, indeed, no doubt about it. As Beerus goes on to state, thought so. Any god would know that glance. As even the other gods, such as Liquor and Jin, goes on to state, ah, look, a mere mortal pulling off that technique? As even the Kaioshin of Universe 11 goes on to state, did he really just achieve it? Everyone basically knows, aside from the actual mortals, what Goku had just achieved. And based on Liquor's reference in the manga, Ultra Instinct is a technique. And that you can't argue with because it's coming straight from one of the gods' mouth themselves. As even then, Whis goes on to state, yes, magnificently he's perfected it. The true state of Ultra Instinct. And I really did enjoy how Jiren went down on his knees after getting attacked, but Jiren having to be Jiren, he wasn't settling for second best, but instead, he leaped up on one of the rocks that was floating above the stage, and then he proceeded to attack Goku. And I will admit, the fighting panels in this manga were absolutely amazing, and I really love the overall emotion that Jiren is putting out on his face, because we see the raw tenacity, the anger, the frustration upon Jiren in trying to take this man down. He simply couldn't do anything to Goku at this point because Goku had basically basically had the upper hand on Jiren during the early portions of this battle. And I love how even Gohan at this point goes on to state so intense, the entire arena is shaking, but every single time Jiren attempts to do something, Goku easily counters by a few attacks of his own, kicking him so hard that he's basically ping-ponging Jiren all throughout the arena, which is pretty cool because even though they're rushing this, I told you guys this in my spoiler video, in December, we are going to be getting a special Dragon Ball Super Broly manga chapter, which again, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel because I will be showing you the entire manga once that debuts in December. But as Goku is ping-ponging Jiren, there seems to be no sign of stopping him. And even then, the other warriors of Universe 11 are going on to state Jiren's getting smacked around. How is this happening? And even though half of the arena is gone and the other half is basically crumbling, Jiren unleashes a massive attack so ferocious that Goku manages to dodge it and Vegeta just barely moves out of the way, which was pretty cool because not only does the blast basically cut the entire arena in half, or at least the spectator seats, but also it goes as far as to show the power of Jiren because at this point he hasn't used his full power. And what was really cool about this was seeing how Goku was easily able to instantly just move above him and shoot out a ferocious Kamehameha where it cut through the entire tournament stage. And as Goku is looking down in this hole that basically leads into the void, everyone is assuming that Jiren has been defeated, that Jiren was basically blown right through the arena and having to fall right through. But what I really did enjoy was how Jiren was basically clinging on to the bottom portion of the stage to where he goes on to state attacks that exploit openness, not true strength, in which implies that Goku doesn't really have too much power or strength behind his attacks, but then as quickly as Jiren bounces on in, the fight continues. And it's really hard to say if Jiren is at full power now, but it's most interesting to see how he's attacking Goku and not a single attack is able to land on him, which is different than the anime because in the anime, a quote full power Jiren was able to match up against Goku for the most part until having to get beaten down by the end. So here, it looks a little different because Goku is back fisting him across the face, kicking him in the gut, and Jiren, even though he's getting beat up, he isn't showing any signs of stopping because even though Goku does have the upper hand, he's still continuing this fight. And even everyone else at the spectator seats are kind of wondering if Jiren's stamina is basically going to deplete before Goku's, as Whis goes on to state, unfortunately, it won't be quite that simple. As Beerus goes on to state, what? As Whis replies by stating, alas, Jiren's potential is immeasurable. He's countering faster now through sheer determination, but when Goku's body just reacts, it takes quite a toll on him. He may have achieved Ultra Instinct, but Goku hasn't trained enough to wield it properly. As Jiren is beginning to adapt, that's what Whis basically pointed out, is the fact that through sheer determination, Jiren is basically beginning to keep up now, which kind of makes sense if you go back to the anime portion, because in the anime, nobody really understood how in the world Jiren was able to keep up with Goku, but now it looks like every single time Goku's attacking Jiren, it seems to make sense for Jiren now because he's beginning to learn and adapt just through sheer determination. And I really enjoy how Jiren is beginning to attack Goku, and Goku basically kicks Jiren in the back with one of his kicks, and Jiren instantly notices this as he grabs Goku's leg and flings him across the arena. And that's when everyone begins to take notice because this was the first time that Jiren was actually able to grab Goku and actually cause any sort of physical contact with him, which goes as far as to show that at this point, Jiren's beginning to learn, as Jiren goes on to state, you people could never match my drive in pursuit of strength, which is why I cannot lose to you. And even the Kaioshin of Universe 11 goes on to state, good, Jiren's still in the game. And Belmont's like, we never expected Ultra Instinct, but he can't beat Jiren with a trick he just learned, which is kind of true because that's why Goku basically was at a disadvantage in the manga, because he wasn't properly utilizing Ultra Instinct the way it was properly intended to be in terms of Goku actually training to wield that power. As Whis goes on to state, now this is a battle of attrition, as Beerus goes on to state, will Jiren run out of stamina first, or will Goku's Ultra Instinct wear off? And I really enjoy how as they fight, we see the entire arena begin to crumble. It was a moment to where even Whis goes on to state, oh darn, as the minute Jiren and Goku come back, we see how Jiren basically knocks the Ultra Instinct out of Goku. And it wasn't just Jiren Jiren knocking the UI out of him, but the fact that Goku could not sustain that power for far too long. And if it were not for Vegeta, they were basically going to get eliminated. But what I really did enjoy is how the manga basically sets up to what's going to happen in the future in terms of the Dragon Ball Super Broly manga, because if you're wondering why Vegeta saved Goku, everything makes sense. If by some chance we are going to have Gogeta appear in the upcoming Dragon Ball Super Broly manga, then this is why. I loved how Vegeta saved Goku and stating, "What a fool, you fool, what's the meaning of this, tell me?" And Goku doesn't seem to understand, as he goes on to state, "I thought that the Ultra Instinct assured our victory," with Goku replying by saying, "Sorry, I just guess I gotta train some more." And Jiren goes on to state, "I've given everything for justice, for my master. I cannot allow myself to lose. I will become the perfect force for justice that my master had sought." And that's when Vegeta's like, "Become?" Meaning that you were not there to begin with? As Jiren replies by stating, "Not yet, but momentarily, because I will emerge victorious." And that's when Vegeta's like, "I see. So that's the wish you'll make, right?" Wrong, as Jiren finally reveals the long-awaited wish, as he goes on to state, "I will wish for the resurrection of my master, who was slain by a monster." As Vegeta replies by stating, "You plan to revive your master? I mean, what would that do?" And Jiren goes on to state, "That's enough talk." And Dispo in the stand goes on to state, "Jiren, didn't know the guy was still broken up about the master's death, but why now after all this time?" As Toppo goes on to state, there was one thing Jiren had never earned: the official approval of his master. His master never recognized Jiren as a successor. And that's when Dispo's like, "Oh yeah, but why not?" As Toppo goes on to state, "I can't say for certain, but Jiren assumed that he just simply wasn't strong enough, so he devoted himself in honing his strength. In the time since, he's grown outrageously powerful. He probably wants his master to see him now and just grant him the approval." As even Dispo goes on to state, "Never thought that the guy wanted anything in life, but there's something kind of normal about it." As even Vegeta acknowledges this by saying, "I don't know your whole life story, but that sounds like a selfish wish. You want to bring your master back to life so they can tell you that you were a good boy, are you?" He's basically pushing Jiren's buttons and saying, "It turns out that you're relying on others more than anyone." And that's when Jiren loses his cool in stating the time for talk is over, powers up and charges right at Goku and Vegeta. And Vegeta instantly looks at Goku and saying, "Come on, Kakarot, on your feet. We have to fight together. He's considerably weakened. Less than 3 minutes left. We must hit him with every ounce of every remaining power that we have." And Goku's like, "Gotcha." And that's when they begin to fight together, which goes as far as to show their original training with Whis, which is actually something that was implied a long time ago. And I really do enjoy how they fought Jiren together, but it just didn't make any sense. Even if Jiren is considerably weaker, Jiren should still be able to foderize both Goku and Vegeta with complete ease. I don't understand why Jiren was slowly getting pushed back. That was something that really kind of bummed me out, because we saw in the anime that once Jiren had fought them, he was easily able to outbest everybody. And that's when Beerus even goes on to state, "This is why I told him to cooperate from the very start. Go, do it, knock him off." And even Belmont goes on to state, "What? Their attacks are perfectly in sync. Why they've been fighting solo this entire time, though, is beyond me. Some sort of strategy?" And that's when Belmont continues in saying, "By fighting together, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. I hate to admit it, but Jiren's master may have been right all along." And that's when everyone's like, "What do you mean?" And with Belmont having to reply by stating, "Fine, I'll reveal why the old master never recognized Jiren. Jiren had always been a solitary fighter, and it was his master who had him join the Pride Troopers. Any guesses why?" With one of the Pride Troopers having to state, "Wasn't it just to help Jiren polish his strength?" And Belmont's like, "Nope, that's the lesson that his master was hoping to teach. The lesson of teamwork." And that's the whole reason why. That's the reason why Jiren had joined the Pride Troopers. That's why Jiren wanted his master to see him now, is the fact that he has grown not just in terms of strength, but also having to rely on a greater means other than his strength. And by the end of it, I really do enjoy how Goku and Vegeta are basically just standing there and saying, "Now, we have to finish him now, and if we don't finish him now, we are doomed." And this manga chapter, although it was heavily rushed, rushed. I really enjoyed how they finally revealed Jiren's wish and the fact that he was a broken fighter inside. He wanted validity. He wanted validity from his master because he never had his approval, but I also find it weird that Frieza was nowhere to be shown. Goku and Vegeta are finally standing together. Who knows? I mean, at this point, it may not be 17 that might walk away as the winner here because it was implied that he blew himself up, so perhaps maybe the winner of this entire tournament might in fact be Vegeta. And the reason why I say why is because if Frieza does end up showing up and he works with Goku to throw out Jiren, then that would mean that Vegeta would ultimately win the Tournament of Power by himself by being the last remaining fighter in the ring. But even with that being said, right now it's considerable that Jiren should be able to body Goku and Vegeta. I don't understand why there's any sort of struggle. I don't understand why, even with their attacks in sync, Jiren should be able to body these two effortlessly as he did in the anime, which is why I prefer the anime a bit more, because the UI fight was a lot better, and I think that the overall execution of Ultra Instinct was a lot better too. But it also made sense because through sheer determination, that was the only reason why Jiren was able to even keep up with UI to begin with. Even though he was considerably weakened, it was his determination that was able to get him by through the fight. So I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below as to how you guys felt about this, because it was a little weird. I enjoyed some of the panels because they looked really cool, and I really enjoyed how they finally revealed Jiren's wish, but by the end of it, it still felt a little off and heavily rushed because the manga is ending next month. So it is what it is at this point. I really wouldn't want to consider Toru Otaro to be a bad artist or someone that doesn't know what he's doing, because I think that he does. It's just a matter of timing, and the timing seems to be a bit off. I think that they could have marinated this a bit more in dragging it on, but since the Broly movie's right around the corner, they had to do what they had to do to finish this up. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, slap a like on the video. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to punch that subscribe button, guys. Turn on all notifications. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.
This is the legendary Super Saiyan. Before I destroy you, I'm going to need you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and turn on notifications to never miss a single upload. Also, follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms. And if you don't, I'll destroy you along with your entire planet.
What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!